A childhood without love. Mom never liked me. From the moment I was born, I was a burden. A mistake. She had that look in her eyes, cold and distant. I grew up wanting her affection, a kind word, a gentle touch. But it never happened. Instead, there were harsh words, constant criticism. Nothing I ever did was good enough. I was clumsy, too loud, a letdown. Her words really hurt, leaving scars that wouldn't go away. I wanted to escape, to find a place where I could be loved and accepted for who I was. At 18, I ran away. I packed a small bag and bought a one-way ticket to New Zealand. I dreamt of a fresh start, a chance to become someone new. The reality was tougher than I thought. Finding a job was really hard. My savings disappeared bit by bit. Loneliness was always there, like a shadow. I missed my friends, my home, even my mean mother. But going back wasn't possible. I had to make this work. Shiny on the outside. One rainy afternoon, I found a cute little cafe. Inside, a group of women were laughing, their voices like little bells. They were elegant, sophisticated, they just seemed successful. I couldn't stop looking. One of them, a woman with bright blue eyes, caught my eye. She smiled, a warm and friendly smile. They asked me to join them. That day, my life changed. They talked about exclusive parties, about powerful people they knew, about fancy parties where dreams came true. It was everything I ever wanted. A dark turn. I was welcomed into their group. They gave me gifts, compliments, and promised me a better future. I felt valued, appreciated, loved. For the first time in my life, I belonged. But underneath it all, something felt wrong. The women, always dressed perfectly in white, talked quietly amongst themselves. Their smiles seemed forced, their eyes hiding something dark and scary. They introduced me to their leader, a charming man with a creepy stare. He talked about old rituals, about sacrifices for the greater good. The cost of success. The white parties were fancy events, held in huge mansions with amazing views. But the atmosphere was tense. You could feel something wasn't right. One night, the leader took me aside. He offered me a chance to get everything I ever dreamed of. Wealth, power, influence. All I had to do was take part in a special ritual. A sacrifice. Fear twisted in my stomach. But the promise of a better life, a life without struggle and pain, was too hard to resist. I said yes. Good things turned bad. My life changed overnight. I got a high-paying job, my talent suddenly noticed by everyone. Money was everywhere. I moved into a fancy apartment overlooking the harbor, but my new success came with a terrible price. My relationships fell apart. Friendships disappeared. I had bad dreams, haunted by the memory of the ritual. The faces of the women, twisted and scary, flashed before my eyes. I was alone, drowning in my guilt and regret. Facing the scary truth, one day I got a phone call. It was one of the women from the group. Her voice was shaky and scared. She warned me to run, to disappear. The leader wasn't who he said he was. The rituals, the sacrifices, it was all a lie. She told me about the others, women who had become successful but lost everything. She said the leader was coming for me, that I was in danger. I hung up, my heart racing. I knew I had to escape, but where could I go? Mom's secret protection. Desperate, I called my mother. I hadn't spoken to her in years, but fear was eating at me and I wanted a familiar voice. I told her everything, crying as I spoke. Surprisingly, she listened. She didn't judge me or yell at me. Instead, she spoke with a quiet strength I'd never heard before. She told me a family secret, a line of women with a powerful intuition, a protection against evil. She said the reason she had always seemed cold and distant was to protect me from the very evil I had walked into. Lost and all alone, my mother's words filled me with a strange mix of horror and relief. Horror at the truth, relief that I wasn't alone. But it was too late. The group had found me. They were outside my door, their whispers coming in through the cracks like snakes. I am trapped in this fancy prison I made for myself. My ambition cost me my soul. I'm writing this as a warning, a desperate cry for help. If you see a group of women dressed in white, turn away, run. Don't make the same mistakes I did. Getting what you want can cost way too much.